Good day and welcome to the first of 6 videos from outside of Genie, where we're going to take an in-depth look on race by race on the Pick 6 races. We start off with race number 4, which is DSTV Gold Vase Cup over Grade 3 over 3,000 meters. So before we start the discussion, let's quickly have a look at the betting. Now, the betting is as follows on race number 4. Factory 56-1. Dynasty's Blossom 15-2. Sunshine Silk 9-1. Tapo North 10-1. Fritzy by Far 12-1. 12-1 Wealthy. 12-1 Imperial Ruby. 15-1 Pomanda. Silver Rose 14. Swift Supplies 15. Darkmoon Rise 18. Shenanigans 18. 20-1 Dharma, 25 Macaroni, 55-1 before noon, pay back the money 50. So that is the field for that. So let's have a look here at some of the runners. I don't think I can discuss all the runners. I want to make it I don't want to make the video too long. So let's start with number 1, Tapo North. Tapo North is straight by Vaughan Marshall and ridden by Mr. Dillon. Now, this horse has run against some of the best in the country, as you can see here. One World Demand, Double Moon, Snapscan. But this horse always seemed to, come up a little bit short. It is now 952 days since it last won a race. It's carrying 60 kilograms, which is the top weight in the race. I just want to, yes, that is the top weight in the race. And personally, I think 3,000 meters is just too far for this horse. They've tried it over this type of distances, and the closest he come was to win on the Snapscan, came second over 2,800. I just want to quickly scroll up here and show you. Let's have a look here. One of the pointers that I use that shows me whether the horse has got a chance or not is this average merit rating. Here we have a Class A, average merit rating of 98. Now you use that to compare that to what class this horse has run before. Now, as you can see, we're talking about 98. This horse has constantly run against higher average rating per race, but he always seems some other horse to beat him. And in his last 11 runs, the closest he came was 0.3 behind Snapscan and other times. So personally, Tapo North, not for me. I must say that this is a very open field. Now, this race is known for the outsiders that is thrown in the past. So I can tell you beforehand, when I fill in my pick 6, there's only one thing I'm going to fill in on my pick 6 ticket, and that's the field. Because you don't want to, on a big pick 6 where the pool is probably going to be 15 million, go out in the first leg. That is definitely a no-no. Now let's move to number 2, Dharma. Now Dharma to me is a surprise horse, and Dharma to me is a horse that can win this race. He has got the ability. He has come up twice. Here when he beat Nexus, that was in the Winter Derby over 2,400 at 50-1. I think with this horse, the further it goes, the better it becomes. And then again, on the 14th of December, again, he's running in Class A, 101. Remember, we're talking about a 98 year. He won again at 45-1, beating Chrome Yellow. Unfortunately, he won't have his regular jockey on, which is the son of the owners, Mr. and Mrs. T.D. Andrews. But Stuart Randolph is a very capable jockey, and I'm sure he'll handle the horse to the best of his ability. Now, Dharma is definitely a horse that can surprise in this race. Should you not choose to put in the field, this is a horse that you will need to put in, as it can come up and surprise. It's drawn 2, and although on the longer distance, the draw doesn't make that big difference, but it's nice if you can place your horse from draw 2. Then we have number 3, Before Noon. Now, Before Noon has run on this course for 2 wins and 2 places, but he's never run on this distance. He's run 2,600, 2,400. Um, 2 runs ago on the 4th of July, he ran behind Don't Look Back. That day, I made him the best bet of the day. He arrived at 72, 3 to 1. He just loves Scottsville as well. He's had some good runs at Scottsville as well in the past. But also here on this course, he's got 2 runs and 2 wins, which is not too shabby either. I think this horse can surprise. It has run against Fact 2.2 lengths behind Fact. It's now carrying 50. Let us just see what Fact is carrying. Fact is carrying, which is the favorite. Oh, no, it's not Fact. I'm getting confused with Factor 50. Sorry, I apologize for that. Sometimes I get ahead of myself. But he has, I think he can, it's a Sean Terry can always surprise. So also, if you don't play the field, I would have still included this number 3, Before Noon. Then we move on to race number 4, Swift Surprise. Here the combination, Mr. Justin Snape and Richard Fourie combination. The horse is drawn 4. Has had 17 runs, but only 2 wins. But he's often placed. He has been placed running against some fair opposition. 103 behind Double Mint and Snapscan, Macaroni. But yeah, I don't think this horse can win over this distance. It's not the type of form that I would, I would be looking for to win it. But definitely a combination you cannot leave out of your pick sixes. So then we move on to Factor 50, which is the favorite. It's Mr. Nieuwenhuizen coming up with this horse. Gavin Arita riding from draw 5. This horse has had 15 runs, 5 wins, and 5 places. So out of 15 runs, he's either win or placed 10 times. This horse will not have a problem staying this distance. It has run over 3,200 before when it finished 1 length behind Bondi Blue. Last time out, got run out of it by Imperial Beauty Ruby over 3,200 meters. And yeah, I do believe that this horse do have a chance and can win this race, but not a horse that I would put my money, or that I would put the house on. Then we move to number 6, Fritzy by Far. If I'm not mistaken, this horse has been placed in this race before. Also, I don't think we'll have a problem with the distance. Has won a few nice races in Gauteng over the Christmas period. Definitely a horse that can also be can actually win it. It is by Go Deputy, a 5-year-old mare by Go Deputy out of a Western Winter. This horse can stay all day, but the form suggests to me that she always gets lately. She always gets run out of it. But again, you play a pick 6, you would like to include. Then we move to Sunshine Silk. Sunshine Silk. Sorry, as Van Niekerk riding, Grant Van Niekerk riding draws 7, and it's trained by Jeff Woodruff. Yeah, it's had 7 wins. Has been, hasn't got a problem with the distances. Has been running well over that distance. Last year in the Bays, she ran. Walter Smoothie won this race last year. She ran 5th, 1.95 lengths behind, carrying 54.5 and carrying that weight again today. But now race figure, her merit rating is 103. But keep in mind that in August, all race figures was has rise by 10. So she is actually came down a little bit in the merit rating. But definitely a horse that has got the ability, has run close to Factor 50. Yeah, so I think there is a difference in the weight that can swing it in Sunshine Silk's favor. And Grant Van Niekerk is a very competent jockey. He rode in Singapore, I think, if I was not mistaken. He's won quite a number of races there, and he's one of those jockeys who always produces on a big day. So Sunshine Silk, definitely a horse to go into your calculations. Then we move down to number 8, Wealthy. Wealthy is a 7-year-old Savannah out of a Badgerland mare. And this horse has run fourth in this race last time. It had the fastest 400 to finish, carrying 55 and a half. It's carrying the same weight. Um, so I would think that, and lately he's been always there and thereabouts, definitely a danger horse. Being the dam by Badgerland, this horse can also stay all day. Sean Veal and Dennis Dreyer, never a combination to ignore. So I will also not leave out this horse out of my pick six, should I choose not to play the field. Number 9, Darkmoon Rising. Darkmoon Rising is an ideal world out of a Second Empire mare. Darkmoon Rising won quite a few races early on, and then has only won a race 489 days ago. And I'd really fought a lot of this horse, but it just seems that it battles to get its act together. And it ran in a Gold Cup. It ran 2.75 lengths behind Dynasty's Blossom. It's always there and thereabouts, but it's always not getting there. It's just not getting there. But last time out, ran an improved race behind Marching Together and was third fastest 400, moved up nicely. I watched the race and he came from a little bit behind and he ran on nicely. The same jockey again. And Darkmoon Rising, I think if there's an upset, this horse can be the upset. Darkmoon Rising, currently in the betting 18 to 1, probably jump at about 20, 25 to 1. I would think you would get that on your on the day. So if you're looking for a nice outsider, Darkmoon Rising can beat that horse. Then we move on to the next horse. Number 10 is Pomander. Now, Pomander is a 3-year-old filly against Colts and Geldings, carrying 54 and a half. Last week, disappointed, ran midfield against other fillies in the Oaks. And I think this horse has got potential, but I do think that she's going to need time to develop. To put her over 3,000 meters now is tough. Personally, I can't see this horse winning this race today. I do think that they are on Vodacom July day to win the race. I do think that there will be stronger horses in that field. So then let's move on to number 11, Macaroni. Macaroni has had 17 runs for 3 wins, but doesn't place often. So either win or unplaced. Hasn't competed really in this class. Was always from a lower division, carrying 55 and a half against better competition. Again, I'll be surprised if this horse stands in the queue in the payout box after the race. But if it does, I will not be complaining for the pick six sake, because I'll have it in as I'm gonna put the as I'm gonna put the field in my pick six. We then move on to horse number 12, Dynasty's Blossom. Dynasty's Blossom came to life at the end of the season last year, and she won the gold. She won the Gold Cup from May to Conquer. Ran on very well, and on July day she finished second to Walter Smoothie, and hasn't had a lot of races since, but have shown steady improvement since coming back. So Dynasty Blossom has also changed stables since she last ran, but definitely one for the definitely one that you have to put in, and I think will be there when the photos are taken. Then we move to number 13, Imperial Ruby. Now this horse really surprised me, but if you look at the breeding, this horse is a Silvano out of a Sadler Wells mare, very well bred. I just want to mention that. She has a run there behind Poppy Cock. That day she nearly ran off the course coming around the bend, and and then the next time out she came out for some obscure reason. I put a few rand on her, and she won, beating Ideal Man by 4 lengths, and since then hasn't looked back again. I think her worst run lately was this one behind Out of Your League, because you won't believe this, but I actually had a few rand on Out of Your League, and I also recommend that to my to my members to not leave out of your league. And yeah, then she got beaten there. But last time, Pierce tried him a peach of a ride. He brought her from behind, from stone last. He got up on the line, beating factor 50. And I'm sure Imperial Ruby will be in contention come come to the end of the race. It's drawn 13, but as I say, over a longer distance, it's not a problem. So definitely Imperial Ruby, one of my favorites to win this race. Then we go to 14, Shenanigans. Lyle Hudson draw 14. I remember that this was, I think in 2018, I think he won the consolation race for the July. I'm talking on correction, but I think it. But he also won on July Day, and I think that was that day. It's now 395 days since the last win. I think he also won a race last year. Or it can either be last year he won a race, but he has won on this course. But that wasn't over this distance. Ran behind 2.5 lengths behind Dynasty's Blossom. Now, lately has battled to find form again, came off a rest, and he's had a few starts, but really, last time out 12.75 behind Imperial Ruby. But the horse went to the front, and I think that might have been the wrong tactics. Maybe because it was drawn 13, I don't know. But maybe this horse used to run on, if you look here, it ran on behind Marshall Falk. But definitely Shenanigans also a horse that can surprise. And if you want to play 6 leagues, pick 6 and not put in the field, Shenanigans need to be on your short list. Pay Back the Money hasn't really performed in this class. Has been beaten by Murden from Berlin, which is not a donkey, but it's not a champion. It's carrying half a kilogram overweight, and I'm sure this horse is also under sufferance. So Pay Back the Money maybe can surprise. I've seen horses with worse form and win a race like this. So as I said, but if you making a short list, maybe this one that is one that you would not include into that list. Then we get to number 16, Silver Rose, Silvano, Sydney's Rose, Last Tycoon. This horse hasn't won a race for 481 days. It's the Nell Stable, King and the Milo, drawn 16. This horse is always there and thereabouts, but always find somebody to beat it. And I do think in this race they are one or two stronger that that can beat it. But again, this one you can perhaps put this on your short list. But I doubt if he's going to win a race of this nature. So to sum up, let me give you my selections for this race. My selections for this race. For a win, I will select number 12, Dynasty Blossom. And then for my outsiders, number 13, Imperial Ruby. And then number 7, Darkmoon Rising. So those are my 3 selections. My outright selection, again, number 12. And my outsider selections, is number 7, not number 9. Sorry, I made a mistake here. Number 7. Number 7 is Sunshine Silk. Sorry, it's Sunshine Silk. But I also I have included Darkmoon Rising in my quartets. So thank you for listening. This is the first. The other 5 videos to follow